Welcome back to Fox 12 Now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Greg Hemler. We always appreciate you being here and being a part of the show, whether that's watching on our live stream, which is a great way to watch this show, or after the fact. Either way, thanks for doing that. We cover a wide range of topics, but I think a topic that is on a lot of people's minds, especially as we head here into summer, is the potential for wildfires. We have a snow drought going on. There's been droughts declared in certain counties already in the state of Oregon, and so there's a lot of concern about what could happen with that as we get, even starting now, but even later into the months. So it's important to prepare just in case something should occur. That's what we're going to talk about right now. We've got Aaron from the Oregon Department of Emergency Management joining us, the perfect person for this segment, I think. And Aaron, thank you, for being here and to walk through that. And I think to start off, just for a little education standpoint, could you let us know just what the department is and what all you cover there?
So the Department of Emergency Management is mostly in charge of making sure all the other agencies are talking to each other and have the ground truth and resources that they need to do their jobs. So we do a lot of resource management, both human and physical resources like drones and things like that, as well as holding briefings and creating what's called a common operating picture. So gathering as much different bits of data as we can to create a map and ground truth for our, in this case, wildfires, for our firefighters on the ground, so they know they have increased situational awareness about what's going on and other intersecting incidents that might be happening in addition to the wildfire.
Gotcha. I mean, that makes sense because a wildfire doesn't just affect, one little stand of forest, because that's so many different ways that can really affect people, it affects resources, affect different agencies, federal, state, I'm sure a lot across those boards. Talking about wildfires, how concerned are you or the Oregon Department of Emergency Management about the potential for wildfires this season?
Well, we're always concerned about wildfires in the summertime, but it is going to be a drier year than we have seen in the past few years. This is going to be probably one of the driest years that we've seen since 2021. So with a lot of dry kindling out there, as well as, low snowpack and things like that, it's really important that people be aware that the most common cause of wildfires is still humans, and human-caused wildfires. So, being aware that, your car can spark if you have low rims or you're dragging a chain. Just don't be the spark that causes the wildfire.
Yeah, you do not want to be that person. We've covered a lot of that here as well. Just as campers, also putting your camp, if you are in an area where they do allow campfires, putting those out all the way and all those different ways that people can prevent doing that.
And Parks and has a really good website that will let you know if you're allowed to burn in a particular area. But yeah, making sure you douse those wildfires really, really well.
When it comes to preparedness, because inevitably there will be, statistically, I'm sure that there will be a wildfire somewhere at some point, and
we've already had a couple.
Yeah, we've already had a couple. Yeah, so statistically, we're already past that. We've already had them, and unfortunately, they could pop up anywhere at any time, and it just. I want to really listen to you here on what people can do to prepare ahead of time to make sure that they're ready in the event that a wildfire happens near them.
So the most important thing is always to have situational awareness. That's the case for our first responders, but it's also for us. We need to know what the hazards are in our area, what some of those intersecting hazards might be. So knowing where you can get good information. Best place to start is with your county's Office of Emergency Management. Every county has one. Every county has an emergency manager, and they are going to be your best source for in real-time information. They're the ones who push out your evacuation notices in the Portland area. If you go to pubalerts.org, oh, I'm so sorry, Portland folks, I might have gotten that URL incorrect. You can get a lot of good information there. If you go to wildfire.oregon.gov, you can get a lot of good information there. And there's also links to how you can sign up to get emergency alerts on your phone. So knowing your evacuation levels, 1, be ready, 2, be set, 3, go now. Also being aware that you might not get 1 and 2. You might just get a 3 go now, so you need to be ready to go. In that vein, have a go bag for every member of your family, including your pets. Make sure that you have important documents in there, RXs, for your prescriptions, anything that you would need to be able to function outside of your home for a few days or weeks if you aren't able to go back. Sorry. Be also prepared if your cell service goes down. Have some backup ideas about how you're going to get alerts. A NOAA weather radio is a good way to get alerts that way. Your radio in your car is a good way to get alerts. So being prepared for that. Know your evacuation routes. Go to tripcheck.com now and familiarize yourself with ODOT's great website. That's in real time. Road conditions. It's great if you're just taking a trip too. And make sure you have enough wildfire insurance, whether you're a renter or a property owner. Really understand how you're going to recover. If the absolute worst happens and you do lose your home, have a plan for how you're personally going to recover from that loss.
That would, I would imagine that would be also very nice, for those who do go through that, just to have that kind of, if you go through that unfortunate situation, know that you've already done that work to have that part
you don't want to try to be tracking down your insurance company or having conversations with your insurance after the fact. You're already traumatized, you've lost things. It's a really horrible, it's the worst day of your life, and that's not when you want to be trying to answer some of these big questions. You want to be making these decisions and answering these big questions for yourself on blue sky days when you're calm and not so overwhelmed.
Right. Yeah. Do it for the future potential of that.
And for myself too, it makes me feel less anxious. I feel like I have a little bit more control if I have a plan. So once you've done all these things, you've learned your evacuation levels, you've got your go bag ready to go, do a practice run. A great game to play with your kids, if you have kids, is especially if they have siblings, have them race. Who can get your go bag and get to the car first? And just make it a game for them. Don't be afraid to talk to kids about this. They feel more empowered and less anxious if they know that you have a plan, that they have a plan, that everybody knows the plan, and that we know what we're going to do if we have to leave the house.
That's such a great idea too. So removing that lack of knowledge, just having that, okay, we've tested this, we've tried this out before, we know what to do in this situation.
Mm-hmm. And if your house catches on fire, you need to know how to get out too. So This is always good. These are good conversations to be having with everybody in your family.
When it comes to the pets, and even from the pets to like livestock and that kind of situation, if people do have, animals and they need to get them somewhere, what's the best way for them to make sure that they know where to take them and what to do in that situation?
Well, interestingly enough, it is a requirement that shelters do allow you to bring your pets, both service animals and pets. And in the alert notices, if you have livestock, usually there will be notices about where livestock is being evacuated to. They'll have additional instructions, again, connecting with your Office of Emergency Management so that they can direct you to those different resources. Again, having a plan for them as well, especially with livestock, it's a lot harder to move a horse than it is to move a dog. So knowing kind of how you're going to move that horse, where you're going to put them, how you're going to get them out. And one of the things we recommend is, especially if you have livestock, if you have somebody in your home that has mobility challenges or additional medical needs, to kind of treat those evacuation levels like a step up. So treat a level 1 like a level 2 and a level 2 like a level 3, because it's going to take you a little bit more time to get out of your house and go than someone who just needs to grab a bag and get in their car.
Great advice. Anything else that you think is important for people to know?
Just that you are already more prepared than you think you are for emergencies. You already have a lot of these supplies around your house. So grab the checklist again with kiddos, do a scavenger hunt with a checklist, and build those go bags. We just saw in Longview, Washington, that incidences can happen at any time. They're not just wildfires. And there are 2 types of incidents that you might have. You might have an evacuation notice, but you also might have a shelter-in-place notice. So just being prepared, having conversations, checking on your neighbors, making sure that they know that an evacuation notice has gone out, having equipment swaps, really getting to know, make it a communal activity. It's a good time to just get to know your neighbors, to connect with your neighbors and make sure that they have the resources that they need to evacuate should they need to do that.
Right, taking care of your community, and then you
Yeah.
mentioned too, the best way to get local information is from your specific county, wherever you're at. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. Connect with your Office of Emergency Management. There are also community emergency response teams in every community. In Portland, they're called neighborhood emergency response teams. They're NETs. They all do the same thing. They all help each other get prepared for sheltering in place or evacuation. They are a great resource to get further education about these things, or to just get advice from peers about best practices. And then people can always go to let's see, oregon.gov/OEM, and look at our B2 Weeks Ready toolkit. It's in multiple languages, including American Sign Language. And that will walk you through all of the steps that I kind of highlighted about talking to your neighbors, thinking about how you're going to be prepared, thinking about your anxieties around preparedness, and just what you need to do to make sure that you have a good communication plan, you have a good set of resources and supplies, and that you know what to do when you get that alert so you don't feel so panicked in the moment.
So amazing advice, Erin. Thank you, as always, for joining us, and sharing
Absolutely.
this. And we'll get the word out there. So everybody, if you are watching this, feel free to share this segment as well. And just be prepared. It will put your mind more at ease,
Yeah.
knowing that you have that you've done that.
Yes,
Awesome.
absolutely. Thank
Erin,
you so much.
Yeah, thank you. And for everybody watching, we are live streaming here from the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. And if there's breaking news, we'll have that for you as well, as we've been covering here throughout the day. We've got some more conversations to have, though. We're actually going to talk about gray whales and some of the gray whales that have been washing up in the state of Washington. We've got an expert joining us to just discuss what's transpiring there. Is this outside of the norm? We'll have that for you and a whole lot more here. So stick right with us. We'll take a break. Back in a minute with more Fox 12 Now.